just want to say for starters that this is not going to be a long video because this is my third time refilming this, and I just got up to get my son something to eat, and I just now realized I've got pizza sauce in my fingernail, so that's super cute. That's hot. Nice. Okay. Anyways. Okay. So, this case is a case that is not solved. It is a case over Stephen Koecher, and I am going to link all of the contact information and tip lines down below. If you guys, if just for some crazy reason somebody watching this is like, oh my god, I know what happened, then y'all know what to do. Okay, so, alright, let's go. Stephen was 30 years old, and Stephen was from Utah. However, when he graduated college, he graduated with a degree in communications from the University of Utah. He wanted to be a journalist like his father, and he could not find a job anywhere around where his family was, where he graduated school at. So his next option was to just relocate. So he relocated to a town called St. George, and that is in Nevada. And now St. George is a popular Mormon community. I guess that is what Stephen was. He was tries to get the video back from them. But basically, when they did get the footage back, it was something, but it was nothing. It showed him, basically he sat in his car for 6 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 minutes. And then he gets out of his car, and then it shows him walking past that home. When he walks past, they could tell that he has on nice clothes. They could tell that he had a envelope or a folder of some sort. So they figured, basically, from the footage, he was going somewhere. They didn't know where, but he knew where he was going. It wasn't like he was lost. So that, of course, that, it was nice to see him, and it was nice to see him and know that that was him. But after that video, there was never any more sightings of Stephen. So, the family, of course, did everything they could. They had a canine go around his vehicle, and the canine did not, the canine did not pick up anything at all. So there was no signs of drugs, no signs of foul play. They did find a blanket and a pillow with some receipts in the back of his vehicle. However, they were able to determine that the day prior to this incident and him going missing, he took I think it was 1,100-mile round trip to visit a church family friend of his. But he came back from that, and there was nothing suspicious going on there. When he moved, he was struggling with money, and his parents did offer to help pay his rent if he needed it, but he was very independent. He did not want the help. He felt like, since he was an adult, it was no longer his parents' job to take care of him, and he did not like that. They did check phone records of his, away, so I'm hoping that for the sake of his family that something gets figured out real quick. It is a horrible situation. It's so sad, and I couldn't imagine being in that position and losing one of my kids and them just disappearing and never knowing what happened. And it's been, it's been 11 years. 11 years and nothing. And it's so heartbreaking. But there wasn't too much really. These ones I try to keep pretty short because they are tender cases that I do not want to misinform anyone on. So I just like to say what I know, and then if anybody else knows anything about this case that you feel like needs added, please comment and leave that there below as well. Stephen was 180 pounds, 5'10". He has a unique scar, and I think it's on his abdomen. I think. Hang on. Yes, he has a unique scar on his abdomen, so